Welcome to the Movie Babies, episode 32. I'm Devin.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Laine.
It's a special Halloween, not episode. It's a spooky Halloween month.
Wow. Are we only going to do trailers in the month of October that are like a little bit spooky?
A little bit
Spooky.
freaky.
Okay.
No.
I had to think of a scary word. If you're squeamish, then you should be careful.
All right. I am squeamish.
I combined two words.
That's good.
That was purposeful, of
Like
course.
if when you get
Naturally.
scared, you just scream. That's what
Yeah.
squeamish is.
You have a tendency to just go for the shrieks.
We got some trailers that we're going to review today, as we always do, as we are a trailer review show. But before we do that, let's open it up to the floor. Has anybody seen any movies lately?
Boy, howdy.
I hear that you've seen one of the newest movies that has come out in the last couple days.
Hot off the presses.
Mm-hmm.
Got to see Logan.
Wow, it's been a minute. I think it came out and then went away and came back and now is out on Blu-ray and
It's been redone and is now directed by like the kid that was in Stranger Things.
right.
The only reason I saw it too was because I got it for free at our local video store. Yes, I said video store.
Nice.
Film is truth.
Like it was in the free bin. It's that old.
No. They were having an anniversary.
Yeah.
And they gave out free rentals. Like if you went there that day, you got a free rental.
Right.
Excellent.
And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I haven't seen that Logan film.
And what did you think?
I liked it okay.
You weren't over the moon about it?
I wasn't over the moon
Okay.
about it. Because I'll give a quick review.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, but it didn't meet my expectations that I think were built up for it.
Which were
I wanted it to be more of like a Cormac McCarthy, The Road.
Yeah.
Like
Gritty.
him and the kid together, him teaching her things.
Mm-hmm.
You just mentioned, I think, off podcast, like characters not learning anything.
yeah.
He's just an asshole the whole time, and there's not a point where he's like, well, I learned this lesson, so I'm going to change.
He's the gruff dad instead of the mad dad.
What do you think it means when he sacrifices himself to save the kids?
I mean,
That's the ultimate gesture of fatherhood.
The children are the future, firstly.
Teach them well, and they will mutate. What is the words?
I mean, you know that's going to happen because that's going to be the finale of the film. I wanted a more gradual build-up
Okay,
to that.
I see.
Did you get some stairs? You'd hit a block every once in a while, have a little progression, and then just thunk right into the wall again.
Yeah.
Stubbing your toes.
Yeah, I just wanted them to hang out, him and the girl, like him teaching her stuff.
How did
Teaching
you
lessons.
feel
Where's
about...
my feel-good road trip movie? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about the episode where they're on the farm in the middle of the movie?
Oh, and that's the other thing.
that a Walking
They
Dead
introduced this farm element with this black family, and it's like the only time they're enjoying themselves during the thing. And like the first thing you do when they're at the farm, you go, "Oh, that family's going to die."
They're dead.
Yeah, how many of that was my question initially.
It kept going on and on. I'm like, okay, well, you can't kill the family at now because it would be like so obvious and like so like icky.
We've gotten to know them enough
If
to
you
have
see-
these heartstrings.
But yeah, the whole family's just murdered.
They go for it.
And it was icky rather than me like hating the villains, which was another problem in that film.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they had to do that.
That was really strange. Tonal shift.
And to go back to the character element, Logan should not have let them stay there at all. You have a tracker following you.
You're doing the wrong thing.
You're killing this family
on purpose.
And he even like points that out, but there's like no good reason why he's deciding like, no, let's just stay here. It's like, you just killed that family.
Yeah. Also by like rabble-rousing the like hicks who were gonna like come and burn the dude's house down by beating up the dude. Like, why are you doing this? You're creating a lot of problems.
Because yeah, we see them come back to like hang the black man.
Yeah.
And I was like, Logan,
God.
It was weird. You didn't see Logan?
No.
Did you? Okay, yeah. It's got some things that everybody likes, but it's got some weird shit in it.
I mean, that's kind of where we are with comic book movies, though. It's like, if you do, like, a couple things right, people are
Free
over the
pass
moon
for
about
everything.
it.
People will flip out.
Yeah, but, like, to me, it still had, like, a lot of the same issues these comic book movies have.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that, Deadpool fans. You got the same damn problem.
It was funny because, so now that this one was R-rated because of the Deadpool movie.
Yeah.
Even though the directors will say that's not. the reason
Naturally.
why. So there were some really funny like F words thrown in there that did not make sense. Like
Yeah, Professor X dropping F-bombs was so unnecessary.
No!
yeah, it was
Sir
very.
Pea
It
Stew?
was very goofy.
That's a cool nickname.
And we got some movies. What did you guys see?
We used our free rental at Film is Truth to watch not a new movie like you did, but a movie from the late 80s called
87.
Vibes.
Correct. Stars Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper.
And Columbo, Peter Falk, and Steve Buscemi makes a weird cameo in it as a really young man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we fell asleep at the end, but I think we can kind of piece together what the movie was about.
Sign of a good movie.
Yeah, let's see between the two of us what's going on. All right, so Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper meet at a psychic / like can you move objects with your mind, blah blah blah.
Kind of like a Professor X's school for weird gifted psychics and mediums. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's run by the guy who plays the Warlock in the Warlock movies. So he's already
There's also
creepy.
the cool guy in Austin Powers / he's the main guy in Cabaret.
Who's also a former WWF 80s wrestler who would fight the Ultimate Warriors from time to time.
Yes. Closing the loop.
He had a big trident thing with a big W on it.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, surprise, some dumb white men go down to Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, and disturb some ancient relics, obviously trying to find gold everywhere. And one of their con men friends who's still up in New York recruits some of these psychics to try and get them to talk to the remaining white dude who's in a catatonic state and figure out where all this gold's at. So he brings Cyndi Lauper, who's a woman who has a medium / spirit kind of following her around named Louise, who just throws in some
We never see Louise.
No, nor hear from her.
But she's talking.
She's a disembodied
this
spirit who gives her information about what's going to happen or what people's intentions are or whatever.
Right.
Does Cyndi Lauper talk to this thing out loud? Like
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
Oh, Louise, what's going on, Louise? Where we gotta go, Louise?
time after time. That's all I
And
got.
she throws herself. She throws herself at every dude.
Oh yeah,
Also,
she's super
she
horny.
wants to get married so bad.
Yeah.
Also, she is such a tiny little human being.
Cyndi Lauper is
Yeah.
She's a little human being.
also was involved with the WWF in the 80s.
No,
Oh yeah,
not
Captain
real.
Lou, Captain Lou's protege or whatever. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right.
No wonder Dan Aykroyd dropped out of this movie. He was like, Cyndi Lauper's a part of this? I want nothing to do with this. Peter Falk tricks them to go down to Ecuador to get this Ark of the Covenant thing that is like an interdimensional
Oh yeah,
device.
the weird glass pyramid.
But he
thing.
lies to them to be like, oh, my son's missing. We need to find the son. So that appeals to their sensibility because Jeff Goldblum's like, oh, I work at this museum and I just have to do parlor tricks.
Oh yeah,
to,
his thing is that he can touch an object, his psychic power. He can totally either track the history of it or know who else has touched it and what's going on.
That's fun.
So that's why he works as a museum curator because he can be like, oh yes, this sarcophagus.
Yeah, right.
I'm Jeff
But he
Goldblum.
finds out that his wife's cheating on him by touching some underwear
Of hers.
have been taken off by some suitor or whatever. So he's like,
He was a
his
hockey
life,
player.
yeah, his life is in shambles. Her
Some
life is
jock.
in shambles. So they get recruited to do this thing. They go down to Ecuador. It all ends up being that they're being chased by one of the other psychics. They find out that they're being lied to and that they're just looking for gold. So it's just all shenanigans. Half romantic comedy, half Indiana Jones.
Slapstickiest.
What's that movie, Romancing the Stone kind of
yes.
shit. And none of it works. It's not funny.
There's no chemistry between the two of them.
They
Jeff
hated
Goldblum's
each other.
just not into it.
Yeah, he's Goldbluming really hard, and
So-
she's loppering even harder.
All over the place.
I mean, that sounds really good. I guess my follow-up question would be then, is it a good B movie?
Not even. I don't think so. I
think
laughed a lot.
The first way you could have made this movie better was spell vibes with a Z instead
Yeah.
of the S.
Yeah, well,
I think
with
that
it
was their
there.
issue.
Yeah, they goofed that up.
Let's remake this movie.
It could be remade so much easier if you get rid of the romantic aspect and just make them a competitive, who's the better psychic. And
for
just have
having
them,
different psychic skills.
Yeah. I wanted
Interesting.
them, because the best parts of the movie were when they were nipping at each other and just because then she got to have her attitude and he's got his weird I'm intellectual but also kind of mentally challenged kind of thing that he does, and it was fun when they were combative. But it wasn't fun when they were like, oh, you're kind of sexy. Like, nah, fuck all that. Anyway, the movie was insane.
So we'll remake it. We'll also remake the trailer, and we'll do like a Good Vibrations cover to it.
Yes.
Like slow and sexy, like Good Vibrations.
James Horner did the score to it, and so it's like got like a...
The guy who did the Titanic soundtrack.
It's got like a full-on panpipes. Like,
oh God, the fucking panpipes.
Yeah, it's just all panpipes
like
score.
is that the Peruvian one?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
But like, imagine suspenseful themes played on the pan flute.
Yeah. So Laine's got a problem with the panpipes as she was
doing the
like,
rendition of Lady in Red that will not stop following me.
What?
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I told you about that now that you play it for me every so often. Thank you.
Already the annoyance level is on 10 with this movie. Yeah. So that was
right.
vibes.
So 2 films to check out.
We will continue to support Film is Truth.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for giving us free movies that we shit on.
Vibes sounds a lot like this first trailer we reviewed.
Oh, really?
The Watcher in the Woods.
Ooh.
2017, not to be confused with the 1981.
No one knows about the 1981.
Yeah, I guess
Melissa
so.
Joan Hart directed. There's some spooky kids. They might have vibe powers as well.
We don't know.
They're vibelicious.
They're vibing out.
The killing of the sacred deer.
It's about spooky happenings in a spooky hospital with a spooky family.
I mean, that joke's not even set up yet. Do I have to edit the spooks in now?
Whoa.
The abuse of the term spook in this episode is astronomical. Keep a count. Take a drink.
Go see your doctor.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hopefully he looks like Colin Farrell by the time you're done drinking all this.
No, you don't want him. He'll give you the disease.
Here's the show.
When I was younger, you'd hear about the girl who walked into the woods one night and never walked out. The old folks in town say there's something in there.
The Watcher.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Not cool. Do 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 do.
Are you doing Clarissa Explains It All theme song?
Do 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 do.
Why are you doing that?
Well, because we just watched The Watcher in the Woods, which also doesn't explain why I'm doing it. But if we go further, we'll find out it's directed by Melissa Joan Hart.
Clarissa herself.
I need her to explain me this movie.
It doesn't look like she's going to do a very good job because the trailer looks extremely confusing. I don't know what is being sold to me. Like, I remember seeing the old movie.
Okay, yes.
And I have very distinct memories that there's aliens and shit in it.
Wait, what?
Yes, but I do not know what the fuck's going on with this one. Like,
And is
I'm
it
very confused.
Because we didn't see The Watcher. Like, you're just like, I don't know if this is, like, are you, like, it's spooky, obviously.
Yeah, it looks like, and I kind of remember that too from the original, that it was like English haunted mansion porn a little bit. Like, oh, the spooky banister, the spooky dumbwaiter. Yeah, like, well, look at the chandelier.
Sean, what can you lay us down? What can you lay down
On us?
about?
Let me lay you down.
Well, lay me down like a sweet little baby. Explain this 1980 original Watcher in the Woods.
I remember watching this Disney movie called Watcher in the Woods.
No, it was watching you.
Yeah. And it had Bette Davis in it, and it had a lot of really weird shit happen with, like, a big skeletal insect monster at the end. It's an alien.
Insects have exoskeletons.
Yeah, but it kind of looked like a human skeleton in a... Like, it's like look at a very badly designed
skeleton
bug
Is
that
it like,
flies into a room.
Is it like the dude from Men in Black who's like the Bug Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the Million Ant Man.
Or the Million Ant Man March.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Go on, Sean.
Yeah. This is why I don't explain things to you guys. Maybe Clarissa will do a better job.
When you're done telling jokes, we'll get back to this
Yeah,
trailer.
I'm trying to be serious
How are you the
here.
dad?
Laine, have you seen the original?
I have
film?
not seen the original.
Okay, so my question is, Sean, having seen the original, you, out of everybody, should know what's taking place in this new trailer.
It doesn't look familiar to me. Like, I can see that Angelica Houston is being that Bette Davis character, who is like, as far as I recall, she used to live in this mansion that the family is like staying at for the summer or whatever, and she lost her daughter to the Watcher in the Woods or whatever. Like
So she's one of the only olds that can believe that there's something out there in the woods.
There's like a conspiracy by the town to cover up what happened to her daughter. I think what we find out is that the daughter was taken by aliens, or there's like some kind of seance or something. Okay, so
It's all coming back.
not really. It's like such a dumbass movie. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and a lot of things are explained but not shown.
Well, okay, so what are some of the things that we saw in here that could potentially lead us towards trying to uncover what the actual living heck is happening in this Lifetime remake of this movie for the Lifetime television network?
I feel like it's not too hard of a case to crack because so many cliches in this tiny trailer.
Dude, the little sister, the youngest child, being the only one who can see whatever spooky shit's out in the woods.
You have the little girl, she has her dolly.
That's gonna be the only clue of where she's gone at some point in that movie for sure.
The narration starts off with, a girl walked into the woods and never walked out. Like, okay.
she got watchered in the woods.
And
Or
then,
her legs got cut off and she had to crawl out.
That would be cooler. I don't think that Disney
You
would
don't
have
foresee this?
done that. But
No bloody stumps.
yeah, maybe Lifetime. Maybe Lifetime would do it though.
Yeah.
Did we mention this is a Lifetime made-for-TV movie?
Let's keep mentioning
Okay.
it, because that is a strange point.
Yeah.
When I think of Lifetime, I do not think of horror films.
No. Moms don't want to be scared. They have to deal with the reality and horror of the real world every day.
Well, I do recall a lot of the Lifetime original content when I was a kid being like, Janice is dealing with bulimia. Like, their movies were sad. Like, they were kind
Yes.
of like...
Oh yeah, they're not fun.
No, they weren't fun. So I could see that how this would fit.
There's always a stalker like around the corner from
Yeah.
the kitchen, and you have to like slowly reach for the knife, but he can't hear you. Yeah, totally.
So now the sad is, it's not like, oh, you have cancer. It's, there's alien in the woods.
Yeah, and it's taking the kids.
And it's gonna give your kids alien cancer.
Now, I am still not thoroughly convinced that it's not just the spookiness of watching and being watched. Because the first thing that I saw watching this trailer, I was reminded of this case that's still ongoing in New Jersey right now. This couple bought a house like a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and started
And they
receiving...
never walked out.
No, well, they've never moved in even because they started getting letters from this person that was like, this is not your place, this is not your house, like, I am the watcher or keeper of this home, and like, if you try and move in and fuck with it, it's gonna get scary. So they're in a lawsuit right now with the people who sold it to them to be like, you guys probably should have disclosed that there was like a psychopath kind of like stalking our property line at some point.
I think the question...
The watcher of the neighborhoods. There we go. See, I was so close.
The neighborhood watcher.
Landed that plane. Yeah. Yeah, we saw a sneaky peek of like an old journal that featured like a medicine man wearing one of those old school Renaissance era
those.
like masks
I'm so
like
sick
to
of
keep the
those.
plague out.
Do you hate them because you're sick of them or because you're spooked by them?
No, I don't. I think it's not a spooky thing. I don't like when people throw that in as like, oh, the character is wearing a long beak. He looks like a spy versus spy
Character.
I don't like it. It's not. It's stupid.
So that says to me that this motherfucker out in the woods has been around for a while. We're not dealing with some alien that's coming out, just in the 20th century. This is potentially like hundreds of years of seancing or spooking or not walking out of the woods.
We know it knows mirror magic. Because that was kind of our only real spooky moment, was that they're in like a greenhouse with glass windows, and then spooky illusions happen on each mirror. But besides that, it was like a window opened, and that spooked them for some reason.
Right.
Also, we're going to make a spook count. Every time I say the word spooked or spooky, we'll just have a little counter go off.
Watcher in the Woods is not, into my mind, something that needs to be remade.
Yeah.
At all.
I've never heard of it before this.
Okay.
I still haven't heard
But they're talking about it like it's this classic, like, oh, guess what, guys? We're bringing back Wonder in the Woods!
Yeah, because they're bringing back something from 1980 instead of from 1997 at this point. Like, at least has enough time passed.
That's an accomplishment in itself. It's like, we found the last
lasted.
thing. It's the last thing from the 80s that hasn't been made.
That's good.
And in addition to that, I'm really interested in, like, Lifetime getting some of the properties or some of the, like... How did they get involved? How did Melissa Joan Hart get involved? / is this just not going to be scary because it's on Lifetime? Are we not going to get anything other than little noisy jump scares?
You bring up some good points, because is Lifetime owned by Disney now?
I think they're a Viacom company, if I remember correctly. So that's like CBS, MTV, Comedy Central.
Somehow the rights have changed hands.
How did Melissa Joan Hart get attached?
Oh yeah, weren't you
also
saying that she is potentially like a religious zealot, kind of Cameron style?
So she was in God's Not Dead 2, the 2016 sequel to the movie that was all about the philosophy question of like, it's the first day of class, and we're going to write this question on the board for your essay. God is dead.
So is this a spin-off of the Gods Must Be Crazy franchise?
I wish. I would watch that. Melissa Joan Hart just trying to uncover, like, what this Coca-Cola bottle's all about.
she's just
but
doing
in the
slapstick.
woods, in England, with an accent.
So she's maybe super Christian, we think?
Potentially. She was definitely up with the likes of... the daughter from one of the Duck Dynasty guys, and then also Ernie Hudson was in God's Not Dead too. So there's either, hey, I gotta work, or I gotta make sure that big ups to the big guy upstairs.
It sounds like Melissa Joan Hart cannot escape the spooky lifestyle.
Ding.
Like Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yes.
Of course. You think she wouldn't be allowed to do that? Witches and Christians don't mix, right?
Yeah. Interesting.
But at the same time, I mean, how many sitcoms did she really lay claim to? We're just like breaking down this IMDb page real hard right now too.
Melissa and Joey, I want you to explain to me.
Melissa and Joey is like a Mr. Mom / hey, we're gonna bring some of your favorite 90s folks back together.
Whoa!
Yeah. Oh, get ready. Her and Joey Lawrence yuck it up for at least 5 seasons.
And have at least 5 laughs.
Guaranteed contractually per episode.
So she directed some of those episodes. She directed some Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Her only full-length film I see is SantaCon 2014.
Is it a documentary?
Or a Hallmark movie.
No, it's the one.
Is Dean Cain in it?
It's one of those films Renata brought up.
It's a white woman being rescued by a black man?
Black man. There's a small-time con man who has to be a department store Santa, it looks like. Mm-hmm. We gotta put this on.
It's a I Got Your Back Girl movie.
It looks like it.
Do you remember in Clarissa Explains It All, the kid who would come in through her window?
Yeah.
And like it would just play a like solitary guitar chord when he came in the window?
That's right.
I kind of always wanted, because of that guy, like my little theme music when I walked into a room.
It's a wow.
Just like a
It's just like a fart.
Yeah. It's not very ceremonious.
You're not going for something a little more spooky? Some organ?
Some bagpipes?
Let's put this trailer on hold. Let's talk about Clarissa Explains It All a little more. Because that show was pretty entertaining.
What do you remember? So it was one of the first shows that kind of like copped the Ferris Bueller thing where it's like, I'm going to talk to the audience.
Yeah. We're friends here.
Yeah.
Totally.
You can see into my teenage world where I have to deal with my annoying brother, my like kind of out to lunch parents. Yeah. And my goofy male friend who comes into my room whenever he wants to through the window.
Yeah, this is the goober character that no one needs to know and love.
It was kind of ahead of its time besides like Ferris Bueller, but in terms of like this popularizing of like looking at people's lives and video blogs and stuff, which is very, very like
contemporary.
Yeah.
Some iCarly realness.
Mm-hmm.
And this was doing it before all of them.
And she was always making video games of her life to explain what was going on.
Ding, ding, ding. That was my favorite moment. That's why I watched the show, is like, I hope she creates a video game this episode, because if not, I'm going to be really bummed out.
It's 27 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah.
that part fascinated me. And they'd show like little clips of like.
Oh yeah, she'd play a level of the game.
Yeah, it was so good.
Weird as fuck.
16-bit realness. See, I was all Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I was Clarissa Explains It All for sure, but I gotta say, I love, God, Salem the Cat just really...
Yeah, TGIF.
Hammers it home,
Oh yeah,
exactly.
it was TGIF. There was a movie from the 80s, or like prior to the show. Like there's a different...
Right, they did a
Yes.
Buffy thing with it.
Yeah.
Different blonde lady,
yeah.
and then let's
Right.
bring it back on TV.
Because Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I think, was a How Did This Get Made episode. And so I think I did watch it after they had explained it. And it's very weird because there's scenes where like the characters rap. Like it's very crazy.
What?
Yeah.
Top this.
Yes, it's
Top
top
that.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Just to clarify, so there's a show called like How's It Made, or How Is It Made, that shows you how like they make packing peanuts or something. And this is a whole separate show that's all about like...
Is that how stuff works?
There are a lot of things on the
Okay,
History Channel
yeah.
now that are not history related.
I'm talking about that podcast, How Did This Get Made, that they talk of, like, Paul Scheer hosts it, and they're, like, talking about movies that are, like, really bad. And,
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of the originator of like
Cool.
that sort of stuff.
It wasn't a show about how movies are made, and they chose to use that as the
Sabrina
example.
the Teenage Witch,
Yeah.
the original made-for-TV movie.
Well, it all starts with a script.
And that's how you pass a law.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about the trailer one more
All right,
time.
tell
I
me
guess.
more things that you saw.
One of the old ladies says, "What powers do you have? Do you sense things?"
Totally.
What
Was
is that
an
about?
Angelica Houston question or the other scary old lady?
They all look the same to me.
Totally.
But I'm wondering does she have like the shining power? Do they all have? Why would she have a power? I'm confused about that aspect.
This is a great question because I'm not sure if this is overstepping any plug 3 bounds of mine, but I almost thought about suggesting something to the ban list tonight.
Oh, go for it.
There's so many.
Yeah, you could ban a lot
Can
of
we
this.
please ban little kids just being the like spiritual seeker seances from
Okay.
the little girl walking with the dolly like away towards everyone, blank stare on her face, lured into the woods. From my time in my shamanism course at Fairhaven College here in Bellingham,
Pump the brakes.
WA.
Don't try to skip all over that.
No. Apparently, kids are like closer to the spiritual center of the world. So like imaginary friends
Because
can
they're
also
short?
kind of right.
Okay.
Kids and midgets.
Got it made. No, but if they are, having imaginary friends that could potentially also just be either ghosts, depending on where you want to go with it, or spirit guides, kind of that side of like actual non-malevolent spirits. There's potentially like a basis in quote reality for this to actually be a thing. However, no, it's just the scariest little kid, and then that's the only motivator. It's fucking Thackeray Binks all over again.
So you don't like it when kids are haunted in movies?
I don't like it when kids have to be the one to see the ghost and like adults only believe it after the little kids like
Poltergeist.
Didn't you see them?
Only kids can see the magic. Only kids are innocent enough to understand how the world really works.
Right.
Is that a vehicle for which to entice your kid audience?
What kids are watching this Lifetime movie with their mom on like a Friday night?
I don't know. I watched it on Disney Channel when the original one came out, so I don't know. But they're trying to get it to appeal to kids, right?
I don't know, man.
I just think the trope of little kids being haunted or scary is just overplayed.
Okay.
Also, what if it's scary to parents? To be like, oh God, my kid's gonna be fucked up.
Well,
My kid's the dark one.
That's the true scare.
My kid has a doll.
Oh God, where are you?
A couple weeks ago, not to put Andrew Butcher on blast yet again, but why the fuck not?
Butcher, watch.
We were watching one of the Insidious movies, and we had to turn it off because Butcher was like, I can't watch this because I have like a little child human in my house, and sometimes I'll get up to go to the bathroom late at night, and she'll just be standing in the doorway. Just this little evil child person, and this is scary because it's a reality. And I thought that was really, really funny, but like, yeah, I'll probably like hit my kid with a shovel at some point because I'll be like, demon! Just like, because they'll pop out of nowhere. Little shits.
Little Fred G. Meyer.
Little gremlins.
I'm the same way, but with black people.
Get him out of here!
Laine, to answer your question, I My suggestion for the ban list was similar, but a little more specified. Little girls singing "Ring Around the Rosie."
Oh.
Totally.
Did that happen?
Yeah, there's a part, like the bottom half of it, where they're like, "Ring around the rosy."
I guess I didn't really notice that.
Upon the posy. If there's a scary kid in the movie, she's gonna have a connection with the earth.
Yes.
She's gonna have a spooky doll.
Yes.
And she's
With
going
dead
to be
eyes.
singing some sort of
Nursery
rhymes.
Slowly.
90% of the time, it's Ring Around the Rosie.
Or it's 1-2, Freddy's coming for you. All right, so let's ban it? Is that what we're saying? Should we?
Well, let's specify, is it just spooky kids?
Spooky kids singing spooky nursery rhymes. I think we can unite your guys' two.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got spooky in there a couple more times,
Yeah.
so ding, ding, ding.
We're on the same page with this band. I'm into it.
All right, just because you guys are so excited about it, I say yes.
Yeah!
Perfect. Was that a mutual ban?
Mm-hmm.
We did it. We banned another thing.
Consensual banning.
Bye.
And now, we should have explained what it was. Oh well, you'll figure it out.
What do you mean?
Like the audience.
Oh, they know. We're banning it. It's going on the Movie Baby ban list.
Yeah, but, what is that?
It's a list of things that are cliched in movie trailers that we will not allow to go on anymore.
What's
Oh,
the
okay.
last thing that was added to the list?
Ooh, let me get my list out.
I want to
real fast.
assume that it might be the use of any AC/DC song
Oh,
in
you're
a
right.
movie
It was,
trailer.
Yeah.
The last thing was banned was
Fangirl.
AC/DC.
Yeah.
Was there any AC/DC songs in this trailer?
They actually did write Ring Around the Rosie.
Back in
Damn it.
black.
Yeah.
Let's rate this trailer.
As the guest and the person that did not come up with this, I guess I'll explain how the rating system works.
Please do.
Okay.
Based off of The Dopest, formerly circulated Regal Cinemas ad, we got 3 categories. I love robots.
I love robots.
I did not love this movie. We got our equivalents. Probably not going to see it. Our mid-range, In Space, with zombies.
In space with zombies.
Yeah, maybe I could do it. Might need to be home alone. Might need to have some other spice of life. And then we got ourselves a Like a Lot.
So you cool if I scream like a lot.
That's the cherry on top. Like, this inspired me. I'm a new human today. And I'm going to go see this movie to reward myself with growing.
Yeah, that pretty much summates the whole idea.
Nailed it.
I'm gonna say I love robots.
What?
Because
Wow.
Watcher in the Woods looks real fucking ratchet to me. I don't want to watch Watcher in the Woods.
No?
No.
Would it be better if you did have Clarissa herself
Narrating the movie.
narrating the movie?
Yeah.
Or at least bringing up the blonde count. We only got our young blonde protagonist sisters. Everyone else was a brunette.
I won't stand for it. Was that the right answer?
Correct.
I'm also going to give it I Love Robots. Nothing appealed to me in this trailer. It was all borrowed from other movies, and the Watcher is not a villain. What is that? Like, we live in 2017 Futureland.
Mm-hmm.
The internet is watching us all the time.
Right.
We're already being watched.
It's not. You're not worried about it then.
And inside. I don't need to go out to the woods. Just
Yeah.
stay in the comfort and privacy of my own home.
The premise of this movie is don't go to the woods. Someone's going to watch you in there. And it's like, yeah, bring it on.
That's
Assume
101 stuff. You just stay out in the forest. Don't go hiking.
And
Don't subject yourself to the spookiness.
if I'm going to go to the woods, I'm going to go in my virtual reality woods. Because then you don't get the spider and bugs on you.
That was always the worst when you're going on a hike and you're in the front of the line and you got to like walk through all the spider
Oh,
webs
yeah.
for everybody else.
That's when you just do karate chop
yeah,
motion.
you
as
bring
you're-
yourself a stick.
Yeah, you find your stick, and then you're good to go.
Can I also say, I don't know if this is going to be shocking to anyone, but I love robots.
You don't say.
As a person that had to watch a lot of not only the OG Hallmark channel, but also Hallmark movies and mysteries over the last like 2.5 years with my Nana who turned 90 this year,
Yeah.
I am so done with all of these movies that are just so bad.
So that's what I was going to ask you, not to be sexist.
This doesn't look good.
The Lifetime movies are made for you. They're made for
not accurate.
women.
It's a women's network. That's their idea.
Oh, that's true. Oxygen's the one that's turning into the true crime one. Because
Okay,
I was down with that. And I was like,
I mean, maybe
okay.
that has changed, like how sci-fi. What was the one that you like tried to be the Man Network and they had like
Spike TV.
Spike TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, they're redoing that. Some weird shit, like starting January, February.
Yeah. I think it's very hilarious the need to like specify.
They're the
channels.
ones that are hosting the new Waco documentary or miniseries
the
that's coming out.
miniseries,
Yeah. So yeah, as Lifetime the antithesis of Spike, Lifetime made a spoof movie of Lifetime movies with Kristen Wiig and Will Ferrell,
right.
within the
That's
last
right.
couple of years.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen it, but at least appreciated the like real check on like you guys we know. I'm so sorry that every ad for this features like a quiet autumnal scene with like a little bit of a breeze going through and like the first name last name story.
Mm-hmm. Not to fucking excrete on your parade, but like I hear that is also bad because it's so straight faced that it's not even funny. They're just straight up doing a Lifetime
You just
movie.
saved me an hour and a half then. How
I
is
could
that
be
bad?
wrong, but
That's not
yeah,
rain on
I
my
don't know.
parade. That's a parade in and of itself.
Good. Well, let's take this parade to the next trailer. Shout out to Keith Carmack for attempting to get us to review this. I'm sorry we couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Efficiently.
Angelica Houston was supposed to be the saving grace of this, and even she was like not getting paid enough. This is a favor to someone
Yeah,
else. She
for
lost
sure.
a game of cards somewhere.
Wait, this was a Keith picked episode.
This
We
trailer.
didn't talk about our dicks or anything.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me fix this. So,
Okay.
the Watcher in the Woods
Mm-hmm.
it's just a dude who had a lot of Playboy magazines and hidden
Oh yeah.
in a tree stump.
And he has a British accent, so you know he's still in line with whatever is going on in this movie.
See, we fixed it.
Yeah, we fixed it.
What does a British accent sound like when you're just like making jerking it grunting noises?
And on,
Oi!
and she does it.
Of course. Laine doesn't ask questions that she can't answer.
She's like, this is what it sounds like.
And that's, I think, maybe we can safely say Watcher in the Woods.
We don't have to worry about nothing. 'Cause we got the fire and we're burning one hell of a something. They're gonna see us from outer space.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about
Outer
Pod.
space,
It's nothing
light it
serious.
up.
No, it is.
Like we're the stars of the human race. Human race.
Where did you two go?
When the lights started out, they don't know what they heard. Strike the match, play it loud, giving love to the world.
How did his father die?
We'll be raising
A surgeon never kills a patient. An anesthesiologist can kill a patient, but a surgeon never can.
'Cause we got the fire.
Don't be scared, Mom.
Yeah, we
You'll
got
see.
the fire.
You won't be able to move either.
I got one word for this movie on this intro. Spooky.
Ooh, that's my favorite word.
It's the word of the day.
And it's the audience's least favorite word after I edit this episode together.
Spooky, spooky, spooky.
No,
Super
don't
cut.
do it, don't do it.
The killing of a sacred deer is
Not a movie
a
title.
lot of words that have not much to do with what we see on the screen.
No. Director of The Lobster.
Yeah. Would you like to take a crack at saying his name?
He just okay, yeah. It's Yogo Man Lanithmith.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Laine.
Yorgos Lannister.
There we go. Is that the guy's name? Did I do it?
Close enough.
Well,
With our
yeah.
powers combined, I think we got probably most of the syllables.
All right. Vocal words came out of my mouth, and that's close enough for
right.
this podcast.
Sean, what do you got on this director pronunciation?
Oh, Yorgos Lanthimos.
Well, you even did the hand thing.
I did a
to,
hand
like-
gesture to make it look like I knew what I was doing. If you ever get in a jam where you have to look like you know what you're doing, do the OK symbol
Yeah.
and then just kind of pop it out in your face.
Combine that with
Yeah.
also you walk with a clipboard and with
the headset.
like you know where you're going.
Yeah.
And you
Just
just
flash a
keep
badge on a
doing-
lanyard.
Just put your finger to your ear and be like, yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
1820.
While doing with your other hand the OK symbol, and tucked into your armpit is the clipboard, and then
And then you just about face and leave the room.
and have a baby strapped to your shoulder because no one wants to mess with a dude with a baby. Like, that guy has a baby. I don't know.
Strapped to his back like a fucking camelback over here.
I don't want to deal with that. So the reason why I brought him up, this guy just is doing an animal theme.
Yeah, he likes the animals. We got Dogtooth, we got the Lobster, and now we've got the Killing of a Sacred Deer. Perhaps we could call this his animal trilogy. I know he's directed other movies, but
Well, it's kind of like how the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and all that stuff is like the
Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, but it's like barely, like, it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
In Dogtooth, is there a dog's tooth?
There's a dog in it. There's a tooth in it. There's not a dog tooth in it.
And in The Lobster, he wants to be a lobster.
But I don't think we ever see a lobster.
But at least that's tied in. So in this movie, is there going to be a deer? That's an important question. We need the answer here tonight on the Movie Babies episode.
I think
32.
Instead of patriarchy, my theme for this episode is going to be shamanism. The deer is actually my spirit animal.
What?
Yeah, thank you,
How
Leslie
come?
Cotton, because that's how the procedure worked. / that was the first animal that my spirit guide friend saw 5 times in the lower world during an awesome weekend retreat that I had to go to.
Start again. What are you talking about?
I think that the deer is potentially going to be important as a representation for things that are gentle and patient and kind. Potentially Colin Farrell's kids in this situation.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
This is a little metaphorical potentially, and
Also,
not like album title.
Is the deer my spirit animal? Because I saw like 5 deer driving over.
Oh yeah, there's like
tonight.
probably a deer in our lawn right now.
And there's like 4 on the side of the road after your drive.
Yeah. My spirit animal is the mosquito. Those things are always bothering me.
Good night, everybody. In The Killing of a Sacred Deer, we get a couple of reunions. We get this director reuniting with Colin fucking Farrell.
With a zaddy ass beard.
They worked in The Lobster. They worked on The Lobster together. We also get Colin Farrell and Nicole Kidman fucking beguiled.
We just saw that. We saw it on the opening with
right. We did.
Movie Baby guest D.D. Chapman.
That's right. We did that.
I enjoyed that film.
Did not like it.
All right.
Did you ever watch the original?
Classic Movie Baby split. Did not see the original.
Okay, well, that's for another discussion. Anyway, in this movie, I'm seeing a lot of the tropes of this director's, like other films, in that there's always this tense earnestness to character delivery that kind of is off-putting, and like people seem like they talk in like a very deliberate Twin Peaksy kind of way. Things are always a little bit off, like they kind of overshare.
Not what they seem.
They have weird speech patterns. They undershare. They like kind of speak a little overly poetically. So that's kind of par for the course for this guy.
So spooky when people do that.
Very spooky.
You got it. You're killing the
One
audience.
of the spookiest things you could do is be cryptic and have a speech impediment.
You know, yeah. You know it's the rule of 3, not the rule of 300, right?
Little overkill, maybe.
What do you think's going to happen in The Killing of a Sacred Deer?
Nobody
Lane?
knows.
Didn't ask you.
Nobody knows. I'm just setting her up because you're setting her up to fail. That's not fair. I see what you're doing.
Whoa!
Well, give us what we know. Give us our facts.
We know that Colin Farrell hates anesthesiologists because all of a sudden somebody's got his green scrubs and his white coat on, and surgeons don't kill people.
Whose voice was that you were doing?
That was a
by the way?
Colin Farrell impersonation.
Okay.
Yeah, but like when he's drunk and like, didn't he have a thing and he's already kind of had his like RDJ comeback?
Do we not like him too?
Because he made a
I don't
sex
know.
tape.
Oh, that's what it was. He's had his
Really?
moments. Maybe. I don't know.
That sounds like a grand moment.
We'll look into that after the show.
We'll watch the sex tape.
Exactly,
And we'll
that'll
review
be its
that.
own.
I didn't understand in the sex tape when he said.
By the same director.
No, but we got Colin Farrell as a surgeon. Looks like Nicole Kidman's his wife. Got themselves a nuclear family with 2 kids. There's a creepy kid that potentially lives next door and or around. Got a couple glimpses of some shit going wrong. Shit going south.
What's the
A
relationship?
kid's crying blood.
Fuck.
Is that like kids crying wolf?
No, it's
Yes.
like tears of blood. I do that every morning.
Tears of a clown.
Before I have to go
but
to work.
That's what blood is. It's just clown tears.
This clown's coming out.
It's all that's pouring through our veins.
So we watched 2 trailers. I tried to figure out what this plot was about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is.
See, that's funny that you say that, because this movie seems like the most I can follow along with what the idea is than any of his other movie trailers.
You got it straightforward.
Here's what I think is going on here.
Break it down for me.
I think that we have a situation that they're kind of trying to allude to, but are kind of giving away in the trailer, that this creepy kid's dad was accidentally killed by Colin Farrell, the surgeon, who is not supposed to kill patients.
Okay, yeah, that explains the line, surgeons don't kill people.
Right.
Okay.
And so he comes kind of like little brother, big brother kind of situation to hang out with him and his family, and maybe like over time is like, oh, by the way, you killed my dad, and my revenge to you for doing that is I'm going to kill your whole family with this weird disease that I can somehow give them.
Conjure.
And then you're going to be my dad, because I'm going to hook you up with my mom, who's Alicia Silverstone.
But he's stealing...
She's got a great body.
He's stealing the dad.
Yeah, as revenge for taking his dad.
In one of the trailers, there's a bunch of, like, critic text quotes going on. And one of them did refer to it as a revenge movie.
Right, psychological thriller revenge movie.
So that makes sense. And also, we get the scene of Nicole Kidman with her daughter saying, like, how long have you been hanging out with this kid for?
Where'd you guys go?
She's saying that to the dad, I thought.
Oh, I thought she was saying
it to the daughter?
My impression was the daughter and the kid were hanging out, and that's why you see the scene of them on a motorcycle together.
At night.
Right.
So my reading of it was that, like, a little kid from the other family where the dad died is hanging out with the surgeons, Colin Farrell and Nicole Kidman's daughter, in a way to get to the family.
Okay.
Who is the adorable British girl from Tomorrowland, by the way?
I have not seen that movie yet.
Stop what you're doing and do it.
I enjoy Brad Bird, who directed that film.
Wait, she's not the lead in Tomorrowland.
She's not. No. But
Not
she's
yet.
In it.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow she is.
Guys are so
Also,
tangentially on track. He's infiltrated the family in various aspects, because the mom's like, oh, he seems sweet, or like, oh, poor kid, he lost his dad or whatever, and then the dad's he's taking him around town or something. They're like wandering around town together, and then he's hanging out with the daughter who's singing to him Burn
the
the whole time.
slowest, saddest, scary trailer song.
I loved the use of music in that cover in this trailer.
Because it's like a motivated sound source cover rather than like just playing on the soundtrack.
What do you
like
explain that?
someone's singing it, so there's like it's motivated.
Oh yes,
right.
And it fit with the tone of the trailer, and there was also like boom 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 type of like stuff going on.
Adrenalizing,
bumps.
Timpani style.
It's the humps and the bump.
Yeah, if I could categorize you as a
Humps and the
fan
bumps.
of two
Humps and the
things,
bumps.
it'd be humps and bumps.
Hi Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Jesus Christ, man. Freak the fuck out of me.
He looks like Santa with his laundry over there.
Look like the sister with spinal dystrophy from Pet Sematary.
Needs to see Colin Farrell.
So, if this kid can't conjure the disease or, like, get Colin Farrell's family sick with it, he at least knows about it. So, is he also potentially just a spooky-ass kid that's connected to the spiritual realm?
So the kid has a conversation with Colin Farrell, like some sort of diner, I'm assuming.
Down at the shoe?
I didn't see the menu. I don't know what diner. I don't know. Maybe it was an ice cream shop. Maybe
Right.
it was
A little upscale.
Maybe it was a soda parlor. When does this movie take place? I don't know. The point is, he has this conversation with Colin Farrell. Basically, he threatens him like they will all get sick and die.
Yeah. So he knows.
We don't know what the sickness is, though.
But it makes you cry blood and makes your legs stop working.
Yeah. Was the girl whose legs stopped working, she was a different girl, though, that was riding with him on the motorcycle and who was singing? Or was that
Correct.
the same
I think
girl?
that's the younger sibling that might actually
That's Bob.
be a
That's a boy.
differently gendered sibling.
Or its name is Bob. See, yeah, I think you're correct. I think it's a son. There's a daughter and a son.
It's just contemporary California life. He's just got long hair.
He got long hair. He looks kind of
dope as hell.
cute. Yeah. And so he gets afflicted first, and that's what the creepy kid is apologizing for. He's like, I'm sorry about Bob. And he's like, it's nothing serious. And he's like, yes, it is. He knows.
Because he gave it to him.
I think so.
Through butt sex?
Through butt sex, yes.
Is it like that sort of deal?
Or just the tips, just touching together. Hey,
He's
Bob.
sword fighting.
He pooped into Bob's butthole with toxic poop.
Forever.
Yeah.
Well, did you see that movie?
Oh yeah.
What
The
is
Miranda
that?
July one.
What's that called?
Fecal transplant. Too.
That's not. No,
The
it's not.
crappening.
You, me, and everyone you know.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember of that movie is like, and we poop back and forth forever.
Yes. Oh, that sweet little boy.
So potentially that's how he gives this disease.
We can only assume.
Is he the Watcher then? I do like that theory.
What? That he's the Watcher in the woods?
He's the Watcher in the woods. That would make sense.
Just collecting poop to throw at people.
Well, and we saw in this trailer, if he is going for the daughter in the Watcher in the Woods trailer, he's calling in these young ladies.
I don't think he has any reason to go after the family other than to just hurt the dad. For instance, when what's her name? Not Kate Hudson.
Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman.
The other blonde one?
Yeah. When she's like, I don't understand why I have to suffer for this.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, she's collateral damage. She's just being taken out, as are the kids, to fuck with Colin Farrell.
Right.
And the weird line with like, oh, my mom's got a sexy body just seems like then the idea is he's trying to hook Colin Farrell up with his mom.
Right.
Because of the absence of his dad.
I love that.
Which
is
is
just very like Perfect Son-esque.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember that movie, but I remember
Oh, The Good Son? Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah, I remember there's a creepy kid in it.
Macaulay Culkin. Creepy kid.
Speaking of Macaulay Culkin, let's speak the language our listeners understand. He's basically, can you Home Alone it?
Yeah.
He's not Home Aloneing it physically, but a mental Home Aloneing. Do you follow?
He's got a paint can just drawn up above his head at the top of the stairs, just waiting and waiting and waiting for Colin Farrell.
But in his mind, he's going to knock some knowledge into him. He's playing mind games, is what I'm getting at. He's not making physical traps. He's making mind traps.
He's lost his marbles to throw them under someone else's feet.
Yeah. Can you do that? Can you mentally Home Alone something?
Why not?
This director is a visionary.
Okay.
If one man's going to do it, it's Yoga Man himself.
To listeners who might not be familiar, Yoga Man is a reggae DJ who lives next door to us. I don't know if anyone else is going to get that joke.
And also an acclaimed movie director.
Yes?
He's Dutch.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I get it.
He's
Greek.
We got the lady singing Elle Goulding's Burn in one of the trailers, and then the other trailer was just someone singing Scales the whole time. I feel bad. This was like kind of creepy kid singing, but like not full creepy kid singing.
It's pretty creepy.
Technically, I would like to say to submit to the listeners and to the board here. Is this not creepy adolescent singing?
I mean, you're right.
I think what we have to determine is if this kid is scary. Is he scary?
Spooky. I'm going to say spooky.
Is he a scary kid? Because if he is, then I would say it's Bam. But if it's just a kid who's scary, not because he possesses a demon's curse or a what's the other one?
There's a demon's curse, or
you either have your demon's curse or you have your
like an evil talisman.
Yes.
Or a haunting.
Demonic possession?
Yeah, all of those will work. Choose your poison.
Okay.
You have one of those things, and then you're also singing, I say you're banned.
Okay.
But this kid, again...
This is the victim.
He's mentally Home Aloneing it.
Well, right, but the spooky kid, if you will, isn't even the one singing. It's the victim of the spooky kid.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we're okay here.
We're okay.
I think we're in the clear. And may I add that I also think it's not so spooky. It's kind of sad. It's more sad.
This kid's alone.
She's gonna die at the hands of this kid's weird disease, and she's not doing anything wrong. She's just trying to be a teenager who likes to sing.
Do you think the dad of the spooky kid died from the same disease that Colin Farrell's family's getting? Or, like, is this something that's, like, a manifestation of his grief and loss?
I don't know. Can you surgeon out a disease from someone?
Like a tumor, potentially.
Maybe.
Is that the end of the movie?
Mm-hmm.
He saves the kid? And then the kid's like, all right,
we
I'll
do
stop
see the kid with some electrode shit all stuck to his little pasty chest.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Colin Farrell checks him for, like, if he has the same disorder as his family. I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions, but not as many questions as there usually are.
Yes. So how does that bode for our rating tonight?
Well, I'm happy you asked.
Tell me more.
Why?
I will. Do it. Now, do I do it now?
Yeah. Are you
Was that my
ready?
cue? Okay.
Yeah, go
That
ahead.
was my cue.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'll keep saying the S word
No,
if you don't.
no, I'm going. It was a smooth transition that I just slam dunked it. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
What do I rate these two trailers? I'm going to rate both these trailers like a lot.
Really?
It's been a while since that's happened.
Yeah, it has. What got your attention on this one?
I will say this. Trailer number 1 with the Burn song, one of my favorite trailers that I've seen recently.
For that particular reason. Just
I
because the music?
I love the music. It fit. There's enough plot that you kind of got what the movie was, but wasn't over explaining it. You see the visual technique of this director. He has a very interesting visual style. The camera moves in a pleasing way with the action. That first trailer really highlights all of those things. There's a good scene of Nicole Kidman and the surgeon kind of like, you kind of get an example of the dialogue that you were speaking of earlier in the episode and like how the strange manner of speaking. So you get enough sprinkles of like everything this director offers. You get this cool kind of remake of the song going on. So that first trailer is like one of my favorites I've seen in a long time.
That's cool.
The second one I liked as well. It was a little more typical.
Plot-based, yeah.
Plot-based, and I don't think it highlighted his skills in the same way as that first one. But I'm excited about this movie. Oh, I forgot to say my favorite thing from the first trailer.
Say it now.
That
Do
made
it.
this might make it trailer of the year. The kid eating spaghetti.
Oh,
He twists it in the spoon, in his fork, and there's this like spaghetti like dripping out of his face, like a little like.
God.
He just needs a little cutie to be sucking up the other
Yeah.
side, bringing their lips together.
What's that demon called?
Succubus?
Cthulhu.
With his spaghetti face.
George Sulu.
That's one of my least favorite things in movies, when it really close-ups on people eating.
Oh.
That grosses me out.
Are you a person that can't handle the sound of chewing?
No, I don't care about that at all. I just really, it's disturbing to me when camera gets right up in people's faces chewing and the noises get amplified, and you have to sit through that in a theater because often directors choose to do it to gross you out.
This is totally taking the wind out of like 3 Snapchat sales.
Oh yeah, don't do this to me.
Yeah.
I won't be into that.
My favorite is the ones like Lord of the Rings, where like it's always during a war scene, where it's like, I'm sending you to war, and while you do that, I'm going to eat my sloppy joes.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You know, like
there's a lit cigarette chilling in an ashtray. You got your major or your general at a desk chilling. He's absolutely so far away from all of the like horror of war.
Yeah, it's an easy like metaphor or whatever you want to.
Yeah.
I need you to find me one example of this.
I think the most obvious and perfect one is the Lord of the Rings film.
He just eats a lot of sloppy joes.
It's an hour 4.
Okay. I'll be on the lookout for it then.
Just watch for the man witch.
Also, you're going to hate our new YouTube series, Saturday Morning Reviews, where I just
eat and talk
and review movies.
Well,
check that out on the
fantastic.
YouTubes.
Devin, did you like The Lobster?
I really like The Lobster. I think the first half of that film is stronger than the second half of the film. And I wasn't keen on, spoilers, the ending.
You didn't like the ambiguous ending?
Because he tried to do an ambiguous ending, and it didn't work for me because there wasn't enough setup for it, I felt like.
You needed something to be, like, an inevitable conclusion. Will this movie, will it hurt your rating of it or enjoyment of it if we don't find out why the kid or how the kid poisoned this family or anything about the disease?
If he does it better than in The Lobster, I'm not opposed to endings like that, but the way they did The Lobster's ending, it didn't work for me.
Okay.
But the humor of that film, I loved. And the story of it, I really enjoyed. What about you guys?
I actually haven't seen The Lobster, But this, I did see Dogtooth. So your responses, Devin, just totally painted a picture for me of kind of what I'm struggling with or what I'm feeling about this. Is like, this could be a movie that I've seen before, and like it just totally airs on the side of psychological thriller of just like, get out of my family, get off this plane. You know, like just a very low, gravelly voice of like, man shall triumph, right? Or it could be something that's painted into this really crazy new universe that ends up being super cool, because all of a sudden this kid can just like projectile mutations or something, you know, onto others.
It's an X-Men spinoff.
So yeah, I don't know. I definitely was into it. I have never been like a huge Colin Farrell fan, so I'm kind of interested to be like, why him, man? Like, why? He's not a charismatic surgeon to me.
Yeah, might work perfectly because that might be the idea. It's like you want to hate him.
He's way too spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, you gotta stop that. I enjoy Colin Farrell in some of the films I've seen him in.
So take that.
Sean, what's on your rating?
Did you rate it?
Yeah.
What's your rating on Colin Farrell?
No, what's your rating on the movie?
4.
He's an Irish 4. I am going to rate this like a lot as well because...
Boys rule, girls drool.
1, because I like this director's previous work. I trust him to paint a absurd universe that I will probably enjoy and get a kick out of other people in the theater not enjoying. Because when I went to go see The Lobster, people were getting up left and right and just leaving.
Well, not to spoil it for Laine, but there is a scene.
You know, exactly. And it's that, and combined with that, it's the humor and the world that he builds intentionally with like the discomfort of having to like sit and watch these things that drew people away. And like a typical Pickford audience of like old people who are just there to like see whatever and just like support the local bougie art theater. They were getting up and like everyone was bummed about it. Everyone was pissed.
Clicking their tongues like.
And I was stoked that people were like leaving en masse. I thought it was so fun and cool.
You just hunker down, put your feet up on the seats even harder.
Exactly. So I like that he makes polarizing movies. Though this one looks a little more by the numbers, I have a feeling it's to entice thriller audiences to come in and then have the same thing happen where they just get their mind
punched
fucked.
in the gut.
Yeah, it's something not like this at all is going to happen. So that's my optimistic view of the framing of this trailer.
Wait, how are you the optimistic one and I'm the cynical one in this round?
I've seen all of his movies, so I kind of feel like I've been done right by him.
And because it's scary.
Fake out. Are we going to rate Colin Farrell, or did we have more thoughts on The Lobster to share? To wrap this up, what's our outro battle?
Our outro battle is, would you rather have sex with Colin Farrell?
Yes. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Or kill all of his family with a disease?
I would hope that me having sex with Colin Farrell will spread the disease to his family.
Okay.
Exactly what I was going to say,
See,
Devin.
look at that. We did some of that shaman
mind melding.
Deer whisper.
You are the sacred
whispering.
deers. You are the STD-ridden deers.
Yeah.
And that was the killing of a sacred deer.
We can light it up, so they can put it out.
And that's the episode!
Woohoo!
Spooky!
Scary!
October-y.
Well, guys, strap in, because this is just the beginning of our Halloween month.
Oh man, we got what, the new Saw movie to review. We got some other horror themed films coming out.
What else is getting redone?
We have a very special trailer that I'm excited to review.
Which one?
It's a surprise trailer.
Boomadilla 2?
Damn it!
Fuck.
Is it spooky?
Uh-huh. Anyway, we're going to keep on theme to the best of our ability, try to knock a couple of these out, because, yeah, we got some good stuff coming out.
Who wants to go hide in the woods and watch someone kill a sacred deer with me?
Yeah.
Really start this October off right.
I guess
see
I
what
would
you
do
did
that.
there.
You like that?
That was a tie-in of the trailers we watched.
All the things.
I am excited that you are going to come with us to All Freaking Night, Devin.
I'm very
Nice.
terrified.
I think that you're going to be really bummed out by movie 2 or 3, that there's going to be like 3 or 4 more movies to watch.
I've done it once before, but that was when I was very young.
Well,
Yeah.
you've done some of those, like, we're going to show all the Die Hards, we're going to show all the Marvel movies.
Well, I've done it all freaking night.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like when I lived in Olympia, but that was like 10 or so years ago.
That's some
Holy
shit that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
Why did you live in Olympia?
I went to the community college. SPSCC in the house.
Fucking A. All right, well, that's for another episode.
We got a
Is this true?
review to read.
Let's do it.
If you go to our website, it tells you how to leave a review on our iTunes, which apparently helps or something.
Absolutely. Give all the stars. Write some things.
Laine did 2 of them, apparently.
I totally meant to check on that like a
Yeah.
zillion years ago because I didn't think it went through.
Joe also made one, and then it like crashed on him, so
Oh,
that
yeah.
never went to...
Don't write too long a review.
Wait, so are there only 3 reviews and 2 of them are from me?
We don't know. This is why we need your help, people. But we do have a new review. It's from Pod Genie, which states, well, 1, it's 5 stars, obviously.
Baller.
And it goes without saying, don't leave a review if you want to give it 2 stars.
Oh.
We know that.
Please do. I want to know why you think it's not a good podcast.
I mean, we all know why. But if you want to just, like, go with the crowd or whatever.
Sometimes I like to like for something like this, I would be enticed to hear a hater's viewpoint because it's probably they're probably going to hunker down on something that I'm like, "Oh, that's what you don't like about this show?" Like it's going to be something very
Yeah.
We do that every episode.
yeah, like that's what we do on purpose.
All right, Devin, rub this lamp. What's Pod Genie all about?
Oh, nice of them.
Thank you.
It says, this is a LOL podcast.
Exclamation mark?
Lots of love podcast?
I mean, it's not Laugh Out Loud podcast.
No.
Must listen! Exclamation mark.
There we go.
Subscribed, and hopefully they will join my platform in 2018. This might be spam.
Okay.
But
Okay.
5-star spam.
I think Podgenie is a network thing on Twitter where there's a lot of sharing on Twitter. So if you are subscribed to us, I apologize. I don't know how this works. But I think how it works is if you're supposed to share podcasts and then people share your shit. And some of them, that's their... I don't know what his platform is.
You'll get listeners all over the world
I think
tonight.
you make a wish and some sort of blood sacrifice. And then you gain 2 more subscribers.
Excellent.
You
excellent.
have to throw a creepy spiritual child who's singing a slow covered song used for a movie trailer into a circle made out of seasoning salt.
Every breath you take,
That kid has a low voice.
every move you make. Oh, it's the Chocolate Rain guy.
Yeah, so I don't know. Review, I guess. I don't care. You know what? Don't review. Do whatever the fuck you want. It's a free country. I don't care if you listen. I don't care if you don't listen. We're going to make the episodes regardless. So, you know,
That's the movie baby's promise.
it's fine.
Cool. Y'all got any other social media stuff to follow or check up on to hear the announcements that are
We got the Facebook.
constantly being made?
We got the Twitter. We got the YouTube.
Oh, yeah, the YouTube. You can listen to these on YouTube or Stitcher or iTunes, whatever your favorite podcast platform might be.
She's so good at this. I
know.
don't know why
I don't like
I
it.
even talk at it. But to see all things movie related, go to our website, www.moviebabies.com. Because Sean,
Yes.
when you don't have time to watch a 2-minute spooky trailer.
You stole the thunder of my thing. So.
Well, but I
hard.
was setting it up as where I wasn't saying it for a long time, so this would be the payoff.
Oh my god.
Okay. Because Sean,
Well, now we can't do it
No.
because you ruined it.
no one knows.
I know.
This is our little secret. Okay, audience, you're not hearing this right now because I've edited it out. But we're going to do a secret take 2 that's never happened. Because Sean, when you
Yeah?
don't have time to watch a 2-minute trailer,
Spooky. It's spooky.
because that's the spooky movie, babies.
Fuck.
Dun, 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 dun.